So once again, a very good morning to you all. This is Shripad Desai from the Department of Electrical Engineering at Bharatiya Vidyapeeth College of Engineering, Pune. Today we'll be discussing in detail about power quality mitigation techniques. This is our video lecture number 19, which titles Power Quality Mitigation Techniques. Now we know what is power quality. We know the problems which may arise because of power quality. But if there is a particular problem existing in the system or in the steady state condition, or in case you have to adopt certain measures to reduce the impact or to improve the quality of power, you can implement certain mitigation techniques. Those mitigation techniques can be implementation of certain capacitor bank or series reactor, or in the terms of harmonics, making use of a harmonic filter, implementation of a SVC, and many others. So we'll try and discuss some of the power quality mitigation techniques. So to begin with the introduction, today we know both users as well as generation and distribution units are so much concerned about the quality of power consumed and delivered. There are certain unavoidable circumstances which are out of control, and thus there will be certain disturbances in the power system, and thus the quality of power will be inferior. Although utilities try to maintain the quality of power, but still there are instances which cannot be controlled. Certain techniques, notably mitigation techniques, can be employed to maintain the quality of power in its permissible limits. Certain governing bodies decide the permissible harmonic contents in the system. We all are aware that the percentage TSD reduction is a better and superior indication for the quality of power. Certain mitigation techniques can be employed for reduction in the percentage TSD. Some of the employable techniques include making use of harmonic filters, power quality conditioners, compensators, etc. The design and implementation of these devices play a very important role in controlling the harmonic content. Locations in which these power quality conditioners are employed are also vital from the point of power quality. Before the actual implementation of these power quality conditioners, a detailed study in power system software is important, which can save time and the expense which occurs. Today there are various softwares available for such detailed power quality study, like ETAP, which is Electrical Transient Analyzer Program, or MATLAB, which is Matrix Laboratory, PSCAD, EMPP, and many others like SimPow or NetoPack, which can be used for optimization. Also, power quality analyzers are available for real-time power quality monitoring. Now, as of now, we are pretty much aware about the importance of power quality. We also know there are certain techniques which can be employed to reduce the impact, to improve the quality of power. In terms of harmonic content, we can make use of harmonic filters to reduce the percentage TSD, as there are certain governing bodies like the IEEE, IEC, or certain Indian standards which are focused to maintain the quality of power as per their standards, as per the various limits which they decide from time to time. Now, for example, on a bus level of almost 132 kV, the percentage TSD allowed should be less than 3%. If I'm To if I am to commission a particular wind farm, there are various parameters which I should consider while commissioning the wind farm. First and foremost, to begin with, is the fact that that particular wind site should be suitable for good wind speed, and that should be having a good wind profile. That is, if wind farms, wind turbine generators are installed on that location, these wind turbine generators will be giving maximum efficiency, will be and can be used to the optimum level. Further, what is important is the land bearing capacity. These wind turbine generators will be at a very large height of almost 90 meters, 80 meters, 90 meters, and the blades will be of diameter of almost 88 meters or more, and they will be very having a very large weight. So the land bearing capacity is also very important. Further, there are various electrical terms, electrical parameters which are to be considered. First and foremost is the load flow. That under steady state condition, that particular wind farm or a particular wind turbine generator will be capable of delivering how much active power at a particular wind speed. Short circuit analysis also plays a very important role, as in, if a particular fault occurs on the system, that may be a symmetrical fault or maybe a unsymmetrical fault. What is the impact of that fault on the system? Further, if the fault occurs, persists, are my protective devices capable of clearing that fault? Even if the fault is cleared, does the system remain stable after the fault clearing, after the fault clearing time? So these analysis can be performed in your short circuit study case. Further, we have to perform various transient analysis, harmonic analysis, reactive power analysis, and many more. Once all these analyses are performed in the software may be any electrical software, any electrical simulation tool. Once all these simulation studies are performed, once the power system engineer gets the report of the studies, the output, and he feels that yes, the site which is selected and under consideration is capable, is suitable for commissioning of the wind farm, only then can he proceed ahead for commissioning of that particular site. So we directly cannot go and install certain electrical machines on the site. Hence, it is very important to first study the behavior of this system, and there is no better alternative than making use of the softwares, electrical softwares which are listed below. They may be electrical softwares, electromagnetic softwares, and many other softwares. So making optimum use of electrical softwares is very important. So we'll proceed ahead. Power quality mitigation technique. Precisely, a harmonic filter is very important when it comes to power quality mitigation or improving the quality of power by reducing the percentage TSV. Now, harmonic voltages and currents are caused by non-linear loads such as computers, variable speed drives, and uninterruptible power supplies, that is UPS, renewable sources, lightning system, and SMPS, that is switched mode power supplies, in devices such as personal computers. Non-linear loads generate electrical harmonics by drawing current in abrupt short pulses rather than in smooth sinusoidal manner. introducing currents of additional frequencies which are reflected back into the system, distorting the AC waveform. Harmonics increase the amount of power required by the system due to reduction in power quality, contributing to a lower power factor and higher energy cost. As a result of the reduced efficiency of the system, harmonic filtering acts to filter out the electrical harmonics in a system. This can reduce overheating of equipment, reduce nuisance tripping of circuit breakers and fuses, and improve the power quality, contributing to reduced energy cost. So as of now, we are pretty much familiar to harmonics. We also know the adverse effects these contents are going to have on the customer equipments as well as on the power system equipment. Some of them are listed like overheating of equipment or nuisance tripping, blown off fuses. So application of harmonic filters, as to how a harmonic filter has to be designed, we have discussed it from the calculation perspective. So implementation of an harmonic filter is also very important. The cause of this harmonics is nothing but nonlinear loads, like making use of computers, variable speed drives, UPS, integration of renewable sources, lightning systems, switch mode power supplies, making use of personal computers, etc. So we'll proceed ahead. Types of harmonic filters. Now, line and load reactors, series reactors or chokes are used to limit the current. Now, we generally make use of power system components like our resistor, inductor or the capacitor. Now, generally a series capacitor is capable of increasing the loading capacity of the line. The shunt capacitor specifically is used for power factor improvement. Series reactors play a very important role in limiting the current, whereas shunt reactors are used to reduce the effect of Ferranti effect. So the types of harmonic filters can be classified as, in the first place, passive and active filters. Now, what is passive harmonic filtering? Use of combination of capacitors and reactors to filter out harmonic frequencies without making use of any energy devices is termed as passive harmonic filters. In the real term, passive filters are the actual harmonic filters. Active harmonic filtering, it provides harmonic compensation by being installed on the line side of the offending load. For example, VSD electronic load of high power rating, they introduce current waveforms which cancel out unwanted harmonic components. So these are the types of harmonic filters. So what are the possible indications that you should observe when there's an indication saying that yes, now there is a need of harmonic filter? What are some of those indications? So first and foremost is generator instability. Second, the motors experiencing overheating, audible noise, and reduced service life. Overheating of transformers and conductors. Further, failure of the capacitor banks, that is due to its switching activity. Um, Harmonic currents are going to have an different magnitude of current which is going to be operated, and further, not only the capacitor banks but the protective devices associated with this capacitor banks can also fail. Telephone interference, because these harmonic components are having a certain range of frequencies, whereas telephone communication lines operate on a different frequency, so there may be interference. High energy cost, damage to or failure of sensitive electronic equipment including drive failure. Presence of harmonic is a clear indication of excess current, variation, rapid variation, and those electronic components, those electronic devices which are very sensitive to change in load, to change in current, to change in current can be damaged. Hence, these are some of the indications of to a power system engineer saying that there is a need of harmonic filter. So we'll proceed ahead. Industrial electronic devices and nonlinear loads, that is the causes which we are discussing. Industrial electronic devices and nonlinear loads are the major cause of harmonic generation, as we all know. As the current drawn from the supply no longer remains sinusoidal, thus the resultant waveform is made up of number of different waveforms of different frequencies. So non-linear loads, integration of renewable energy sources are the main causes of harmonics. Now, what are the effects of harmonics? Harmonics as a major cause of power supply pollution, lowering the power factor and increasing electrical losses. This results in premature equipment failure and higher rating requirement for equipment. If we speak about particular devices, if I speak about the capacitor banks will be carrying a higher magnitude of current. The protective devices associated with the capacitor bank may blow out. They may lead to nuisance tripping. In case of a transformer, they may lead to excessive overheating. Presence of third harmonic. It can also lead to derating of the transformer. Apart from that, the losses in the transformer may also increase. So, apart from that, presence of harmonic will also have an impact on the induction machine, where the induction motor can be subjected to cogging and crawling effect. Apart from that, there are various other effects which can be observed by the presence of harmonics. One of those effects is interference with the telecommunication line. Apart from that, there may be higher energy costs due to varied readings of the energy meter. Apart from that, the insulation failure may occur. So there are various other causes, effects of the presence of this harmonics, and hence special attention has to be given to harmonic and harmonic studies. So as of now, we know what are harmonics. We also know the causes of harmonics. Now, if harmonics are present in the system, as a power system engineer, what options do I have? How can I reduce the percentage THD? How can I improve the quality of power? This is of great emphasis. Now, the harmonic filter is a device that is used to filter out components of different harmonic order from reaching and harming the load, thus the name harmonic filter. What are the applications of harmonic filters? Harmonic filters are applied at different points where power pollution due to harmonics is observed above the desirable limits as recommended by IEEE 519 standard. They are used in parallel to load, thus providing a bypass low impedance path for the flow of harmonic currents of specific frequency or harmonic number. Thus, a separate harmonic filter branch is required for each harmonic order to be removed. Thus, a 3-branch filter might be used to filter out 3rd, 5th, and 7th harmonic component. Types of harmonic filter. There are 2 types of filters that are used. Precisely, harmonic filters can be categorized as active filter and passive filter that we have discussed in brief earlier. We'll proceed ahead. Harmonic filters. To mitigate the harmonics, one can install passive or active filters. Though active filters are effective to compensate harmonic currents and voltages, they are still very expensive due to use of energy sources. Therefore, active filters are only installed in large industrial plants, while for small installation, passive filters are more preferred. So passive filters are making use of inductance, capacitance and resistance elements configured and tuned to control harmonics. They are commonly used and are relatively inexpensive compared with other means of eliminating harmonic distortion. Precisely, we mean to say active filters. However, they have the disadvantage of potentially interacting adversely with the power system, and it is important to check all possible system interactions when they are designed. They are employed either to shunt the harmonic currents of line or to block their flow between parts of the system by tuning the elements to create a resonance at a selected frequency. These are some of the examples of passive harmonic filter. To begin with, you can observe that all this combination of filters are making use of either inductor, a capacitor or a resistor. There are no application of energy devices as such. Further, single tune filter is one of the most common harmonic filters, simplest of the harmonic filters which you will observe. Apart from that, in the diagram itself you can observe first order high pass, second order high pass and third order high pass passive type harmonic filter. So we'll proceed ahead. The most common type of passive filter is the single tune or the notch filter, as I mentioned earlier. This is the most economical type and is frequently sufficient for the application. The notch filter is series tune to present low impedance to a particular harmonic current and is connected in shunt with the power system. Thus, harmonic currents are diverted from their normal flow path onto the line through the filter. Notch or single tune filters can provide power factor correction in addition to harmonic suppression. In fact, power factor correction capacitors may be used to make notch filters. To avoid problems with this resonance, filters are added to the system starting with the lowest significant harmonic found in the system. Let's consider an example installing a seventh harmonic filter, which generally means that the system is having seventh order harmonic as the most dominant harmonic in the system. Usually requires that the fifth harmonic filter also be installed. The new parallel resonance with a seventh harmonic filter alone is often very near the fifth harmonic, which is generally disastrous. Passive filters should always be placed on a bus where the short circuit reactance can be expected to remain constant, while the notch frequency will remain fixed. The parallel resonance will move with system impedance. We'll discuss about the series passive filter. Unlike a notch filter which is connected in shunt with the power system, a series passive filter is connected in series with the load. The inductance and the capacitance are connected in parallel and are tuned to provide a high impedance at a selected harmonic frequency. The high impedance then blocks the flow of harmonic currents at the tuned frequency only. At fundamental frequency, the filter would be designed to yield a low impedance, thus allowing the fundamental current to follow with only minor additional impedance and losses. Series filters are used to block a single harmonic current, such as third harmonic, and are especially useful in a single phase circuit where it is not possible to make advantage of zero sequence characteristics. This is a schematic of a series passive filter. So we'll proceed ahead. Low pass broadband filters. Multiple stages of both series and shunt filter are often required in practical applications. In shunt filter application, a filter for blocking a seventh harmonic frequency would typically require two stages of shunt filters: the seventh harmonic filter itself and the lower fifth harmonic filter. Similarly, in series filter application, each frequency requires a series filter of its own. Thus, multiple stages of filters are needed to block multiple frequencies. So we'll discuss about active filters now. Active filters are relatively newer type of devices for eliminating harmonics. They are based on sophisticated power electronics and are much more expensive than passive filters. However, they have distinct advantage that they do not resonate with the system. Active filters can work independently of the system impedance characteristics. Thus, they can be used in very different circumstances. When passive filters cannot operate successfully because of parallel resonance problems, they can also address more than one harmonic at a time. They can also address more than one harmonic at a time and combat other power quality problems such as flicker. They are particularly useful for large distorting loads fed from relatively weak points on the power system. We have discussed this comparison in the previous lecture as well, but as we are discussing harmonic as module 2 again in detail, it's important to compare passive and active harmonic filters. As of the study which we have performed, we are well aware, we can well differentiate between passive and active harmonic filter. So the passive harmonic type filters are actually harmonic type filters in the real manner, as I mentioned earlier. Whereas active harmonic filters only inject opposite nature of distorted current in the line. Passive harmonic filter, they stop harmonic current circulation in the network, whereas active harmonic filter, they do not stop harmonic current circulation. Further, passive harmonic filter, these type of filters clean the entire system both down and up the line, whereas in active filters they fail to possess such kind of behavior. Further, passive filters are rugged and maintenance free, whereas active filters has problems related to maintenance due to use of multiple electronic devices. Further, passive harmonic filters are more economical because they do not use any active devices. Further, active harmonic filter bear high cost comparatively. Passive harmonic filters, the running losses are low, whereas in active harmonic filters, the running losses are very high. In passive harmonic filters, there is a possibility of getting overloaded, whereas active harmonic filters do not possess the tendency of getting overloaded. Passive harmonic filters target single harmonic order, that is, they may be targeting a fifth order harmonic, a third or seventh, so on. But active harmonic filters target from second to 50th order of harmonic. Passive harmonic filters are available in low and medium voltage application, whereas active harmonic filters are available in low voltage applications. In passive harmonic filter, there is a possibility of series and parallel resonance, whereas in active harmonic filter, there is absence of any series and parallel resonance. Passive harmonic filter, there is a delay in response to load changes, whereas in active harmonic filters, there is a quick response with respect to load changes, if any. So we'll try and move ahead. We'll discuss one of the most important standards which relate to harmonic. We have discussed this in the earlier session as well. IEEE standard for harmonic, that is IEEE standard 519 of 1992. The limits on harmonic voltage and current based on IEEE standard 519 of 1992 mentions that it should be emphasized that the philosophy behind the standard seeks to limit the harmonic injection from individual customers so that they do not create unacceptable voltage distortion under voltage characteristics and to limit the overall harmonic distortion in the voltage supplied by the utility. The voltage and the current distortion limits should be used as system design values for the worst case of normal operating conditions lasting more than an hour. For shorter periods such as during startup, the limits must be exceeded by 50%. Here there are certain values mentioned by IEEE for a particular bus voltage. The percentage TSD has to be maintained within permissible limits. For a short circuit ratio at PCC having maximum individual frequency voltage in percentage terms as 2.5 to 3, the related assumption will be related to dedicated system and so on for the number of customers ranging from large to small customers. We'll proceed ahead. Now we all know the importance of harmonic studies. We also know that there is availability of harmonic filters. But how to design an harmonic filter? To begin with, the filter design procedure for determination of capacitance and inductance as per the data from the harmonic power meter, calculate the kVR required for improving the power factor. That is, first we should have a knowledge of the present power factor and the expected power factor, so that you can come to a conclusion of the required kVR. Once we calculate the kVR, find out the capacitance value for a filter design. By using the value of capacitor, find out capacitive reactance at fundamental, that is 50 Hz or 60 Hz, whichever is the fundamental frequency. As well, using the frequency for harmonic order number in which we are getting more harmonic distortion. Further, consider resonance condition and find out inductive reactance for harmonic order number in which we are getting the dominant harmonic content. Further, we have to find out inductive reactance of the fundamental value by dividing order number at which we calculate the filter to resonant inductive reactance value. Further, we have to find out the inductance value which is required for the filter design. Further, we have to find out the RMS current value and the total voltage drop across the inductor by using the values which we have found out in the kVR rating. The same procedure has to be repeated for the capacitor and the kVR rating of the capacitor. One important component related to power quality, one important device related to power quality is power quality conditioners. Now, an overall configuration that is UPQC means a unified power quality conditioner, that is abbreviated as UPQC. So we'll move ahead. That is an UPQC, an overall configuration of the hybrid type filter is the unified power quality conditioner. It can also be termed as universal active filter. It is a multifunction conditioner which can be used for many applications like voltage fluctuations, harmonics, and voltage disturbances in the power supply. It is a custom device to protect sensitive loads from any variation in the power system. UPQC, that is Unified Power Quality Conditioners, has shunt and series compensation capabilities for power flow control, reactive power, harmonic, voltage disturbances, and many more. A unified power quality conditioner consists of two voltage sources, that is VSC, voltage source converters, with a DC link to maintain the variation in voltage within the permissible limits. One converter is connected in series through a transformer between source and load at PCC and operates as voltage source inverter. The other converter is connected in shunt at PCC through transformer and operates as a current source inverter. The active series converter compensates for voltage supply disturbances, performs harmonic isolation, and dampens harmonic oscillations. The active shunt converter compensates for load current waveform distortion and reactive power and performs the DC link voltage regulation. This is a general scheme of the unified power quality conditioner. You can see, as mentioned in the discussion, they are making use of the transformer units along with the series active power filter and the shunt active power filter. As we have discussed in the earlier sessions, that harmonic filters or when I have to install a particular device, I directly cannot install a particular solution, or I directly cannot implement a particular mitigation technique by just formal calculations. It has to be substantiated with respective softwares also. Now, the screen which we can see is the actual screen of the electrical transient analyzer program, which is software, which is the screen being displayed is version number 12.6, whereas we are having the latest version in our department, that is 18.1. So you can observe that this is the pop-up window for the harmonic filter design. How am I supposed to design a harmonic filter? What are the parameters which I have to calculate before feeding it into the harmonic filter, and how it is going to actually operate further? So you can observe. First we'll discuss the importance of electrical software. Like this particular software, electrical transient analyzer program version 12.6.0, the latest version as of now which we are having is 18.1. The module is capable of running many simulation studies, that simulation modules that includes your load flow analysis, your short circuit analysis, your transient analysis, harmonic analysis, apart from that various other things like your traction or optimal load flow analysis, optimal capacitor placement, and many such other modules. Once a particular system is designed, once a particular system is maybe commissioned, or well before that, uh, once it is being installed, we come to know that there are certain problems associated with it. The smallest of the problems may be due to loose connections also, which an engineer may skip, but they do have an adverse effect on the power system. They do have the smallest of the smallest problem, that is even a loose connection can have an adverse effect on the power system components. Now, once a system is designed, I can make use of the harmonic module available here to study the percentage harmonic in the system, that is the percentage THD at various levels in the system, that is at different bus levels ranging from the generator to that of the grid system. Which all parameters shall I consider? We have a calculation module, as I discussed in the previous slide, that there are certain general guidelines. Those are just guidelines. Those were just guidelines. These were just guidelines or steps to design a harmonic filter. The same calculations, values, certain basic values you have to put in the electrical software, which can evaluate the performance, simulate the result for a power system engineer. Now, to begin with, the first and foremost requirement will be the reactive power requirement. Then the requirement of rated kW, maximum kV in the system. Apart from that, you also need to know how much is the operating load in terms of, you also need to know the maximum voltage of the system. All these parameters are important while I design a harmonic filter. Further, sizing of the harmonic filter is also very important. Sizing of the harmonic filter relates to its performance as well as the cost. Sizing will relate to the dominant harmonic order. That is, which order of harmonic is dominant in the system. That may be third order harmonic, fifth or seventh order harmonic, or so on. How much is the operating current? That is also going to play a very important role. Further, these calculations can be calculated by different methods. If I consider a load flow study or a harmonic, these calculations can be solved by various iterative methods, Gauss-Seidel method or adaptive Newton-Raphson method, and many others, so that it can give a clear comparison to the engineer also. So the basic purpose behind implementation of the harmonic filter here is to reduce the percentage THD. That is well aware. So further, there is a window which can be used with respect to the economics. Further, the existing power factor of the system and the desired power factor of the system is also to be noted once we have to design a particular harmonic filter. Once you input all these values, the harmonic filter is being designed, but designing is one aspect and implementation is yet another, because implementation also governs through various other parameters like its interaction, its cost, its operating level, because there are going to be various voltage levels also. So power system engineers should focus on all such parameters. For the experienced person who is having a good experience in this field can take best decision. Further, many other softwares are available. Comparison of one software result with another software result can also be done. Further, mathematical calculations done by a human being can also be used for. Further, raw data which is available from previous studies, even that can be used for, and we can make use of certain other computer based softwares also for predictive analysis. So this is the actual process of harmonic filter design, and this is the window which appears in your ETAP software for your harmonic filter design. So that's it for the presentation as of now. Thank you.